Never trust the person who says they never feel pain. That's not a gift. That's a countdown. Somewhere out there, right now, there's a kid who can grab a hot pan with her bare hand and smile while she does it. There's a man who sleeps 4 hours a night and wakes up sharper than people who sleep 9. There's a woman who can sit in freezing water for an hour and feel nothing but calm. Separately, these people sound like superheroes. But here's the part nobody talks about. Every single one of these traits comes from something breaking inside the body first. And by the end of this video, you're going to see what happens when you stack all 3 into one person. It's not a superhero. It's a walking warning sign. So let's build this thing level by level. You're going to live through every stage of a body that stops feeling sleep, pain, and cold, from the mild version all the way up to the extreme. And I promise you, the final level is not what you expect. Let's start with the problem most people get backwards. We think pain is the enemy. We think sleep is wasted time. We think feeling cold is just weakness. So naturally, we assume a body that skips all 3 would be an upgrade. No pain, no exhaustion, no shivering. Sounds perfect on paper. But your body didn't build these systems for fun. Pain, sleep, and cold sensitivity are alarms. They're not bugs. They're the smoke detectors of the human body. And what happens when you rip the batteries out of a smoke detector? The fire doesn't stop. You just stop knowing about it until it's too late. Keep that in your head, because it's going to matter a lot by the end. Level 1. Mild pain tolerance. At this level, you're the person who barely reacts to small stuff. You stub your toe and just keep walking. You get a paper cut and don't even notice until you see the blood. This level exists in real people because of a gene called SCN9A. It controls a channel in your nerves that sends pain signals to your brain. In most people, that channel works fine. In some people, a mutation turns the volume down. Not off, just down. These people still feel pressure, still feel pain eventually. It just takes more to trigger it. This sounds harmless, and honestly, at this level, it mostly is. A slightly higher pain threshold isn't dangerous. Athletes train for years to get close to this. There's a real woman doctors have studied closely because of an extremely rare version of this mutation. She once broke her arm and didn't notice for days. She's had surgeries that would leave most people needing strong painkillers for weeks, and she just walked out feeling fine. Doctors also noticed something else about her. She almost never feels anxious, and small cuts heal faster on her than on most people. At first glance, that looks like an incredible list of advantages. But her own doctors pointed out the obvious problem. She still gets hurt just as easily as anyone else. She just doesn't get the signal telling her to slow down and take care of it. That one detail is going to matter a lot more once we stack the other levels on top. But this is only level 1. Keep going. Level 2. The short sleeper. Now you're the person who needs 4 hours of sleep a night and feels completely fine. Not tired, not groggy, fully rested. This is real, and it comes from a gene called DEC2. People with this mutation are called natural short sleepers. Their brain runs through the sleep cycle faster and more efficiently, so 4 hours does what 8 hours does for you. Scientists have studied families who all carry this gene, and they're not faking it. They score just as well on memory and alertness tests as people who sleep a full night. On the surface, this looks like a cheat code for life. Imagine getting 4 extra hours every single day. That's an extra month of waking life every single year. But remember what we said about alarms. Sleep isn't just rest, it's cleanup. Your brain uses deep sleep to flush out waste products that build up while you're awake. Short sleepers seem to do this cleanup faster. Researchers have followed multiple generations of the same families carrying this gene, from grandparents down to grandchildren, and the pattern holds up every single time. 4 to 6 hours, no alarm clock needed, no coffee required, full performance the next day. Most people who try to copy this by just sleeping less don't get the same result. They just skip the cleanup and pay for it later. That's the difference between having the mutation and faking the mutation. Someone faking it builds up what scientists call sleep debt, and it shows up as slower reaction time, worse memory, and a weaker immune system, even if the person insists they feel fine. And here's the uncomfortable part. Even people who really do have the mutation are still walking a thin line, because missing that repair window, even a little, adds up over years, and there's no clear alarm telling them exactly when they've crossed it. Level 3. Cold resistance. Now your body barely reacts to cold at all. You can sit outside in near freezing temperatures in a t-shirt and just feel a little brisk, nothing more. Part of this comes down to brown fat, a special type of fat that burns energy to produce heat instead of storing it. Some people naturally have more of it. Their bodies burn through it constantly, keeping their internal temperature stable even when the air around them is dropping fast. There are documented cases of people training this response over time, swimming in freezing water, sitting in snow, slowly teaching their body to stop panicking about cold. And it works. Their heart rate stays calm. Their breathing stays steady. From the outside, it looks like they've hacked their nervous system. People who train this method for years report staying completely calm in situations that would send most bodies into a panic response within seconds. And some have even used breathing techniques to influence their immune system in ways scientists are still trying to fully explain. But here's the catch that connects all 3 levels together. Cold sensitivity isn't there to make you miserable. It's there to make you move. Shivering is your body forcing you to generate heat and get somewhere warmer before your organs slow down. If you don't feel cold, you don't get that warning. You can be losing heat fast and have no idea, right up until your body starts shutting down function by function. People who train this ability carefully know where their real limits are. People who are simply born without the warning system don't get that choice. Now here's level 4, the combination. This is where it stops being a list of cool traits and becomes something else entirely. Imagine one person with all 3. No real pain signal, no need for real sleep, no warning from the cold. On paper, this person could work through an injury without stopping, could function on almost no rest for days, could stand in freezing conditions without shivering once. If you saw this person from a distance, you'd think they were unstoppable, a body with every weakness removed. Except that's exactly backwards. This isn't a body with no weaknesses. This is a body with no early warning system left. And a body without warnings doesn't become invincible. It becomes something that gets destroyed quietly, one system at a time, without ever knowing it's happening. This is where the real story comes in, because this combination isn't just theory. It's close to a real condition called congenital insensitivity to pain, or CIPA. Kids born with this condition don't feel pain the way the rest of us do. And it does not play out like a superpower movie. It plays out like a slow-motion accident. There are documented cases of children with CIPA biting through their own tongue and lips while teething, because there was no pain telling them to stop. Some have broken bones while playing and kept walking on them for hours, because nothing hurt enough to stop them. One well-known case involved a young girl in the United States who scratched her own eye so severely as a baby that doctors eventually had to remove it because she felt no pain telling her to stop touching it. Parents of kids with this condition often have to check their child's entire body every single night, just looking for injuries the child didn't even know they had. Not because the child is careless, because the alarm system that keeps the rest of us safe simply isn't there. Another well-documented case involves a girl in Georgia who was diagnosed with the same condition as a baby. Her parents had to child-proof the house completely differently than a normal family. Sharp corners, hot surfaces, small objects she could chew on without noticing. All of it became a constant threat because her body would never send the signal to stop. She grew up learning to check herself constantly with her eyes instead of relying on feeling, scanning her arms and legs for cuts and bruises she couldn't feel happening. That's not a movie plot. That's daily life for people at this level. Now stack the sleep piece on top of that. Chronic sleep loss, even in people who feel fine, has been linked to slower healing and weaker immune response. If you can't feel pain and you're also not getting proper deep sleep, your body has almost no way to repair damage before it becomes serious. Cuts stay open longer without you noticing. Infections have more time to take hold because nothing is screaming at you that something is wrong. Now add the cold piece. In real emergency medicine, one of the most dangerous stages of hypothermia isn't when someone feels freezing. It's the stage after that, when the body stops sending the cold signal entirely, and the person actually feels warm right before their organs start failing. Rescuers call this paradoxical undressing because people in this late stage sometimes take their own jackets off, convinced they're overheating, while they're actually freezing to death. A person who never felt cold in the first place would already be living in that danger zone constantly, with zero warning before it turns fatal. Put all three together, and what you get isn't a superhero build. It's a person walking through life with every single alarm disconnected. Cuts they don't notice. Fevers they don't catch early. Cold that doesn't register until it's already a medical emergency. From the outside, they look tough. From the inside, their body is quietly losing the one thing that kept it safe for hundreds of thousands of years: the ability to complain. And this is the twist most people miss when they daydream about a body like this. We think discomfort is the flaw. We think the ideal life has zero pain, zero exhaustion, zero cold. But discomfort was never the enemy. It's the messenger. It's the only reason you pull your hand off a hot stove before it burns to the bone. It's the only reason you go to bed before your brain starts failing at basic tasks. It's the only reason you put on a coat before your body temperature drops into a dangerous zone. Take away the messenger, and you don't get a better life. You get a life with no early warnings at all, running on a body that's silently taking damage it can no longer report. So next time you imagine having a body that feels nothing, remember what that actually means. It's not the upgrade it looks like from the outside. It's a system running blind, one level at a time, until something breaks that can't be fixed quietly anymore. If this blew your mind, subscribe, because the next one goes even deeper.